have the same room for you all the time. So on Wednesday, you will go in through the main building, the main door, where you are gathering tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning you will be staying outside, but on Wednesday morning, please get in. And the rooms where you are going, it says here kokoushuone, means meeting room, main building, level K. Level K means that you'll go in here, and next to this info desk, there's an elevator. Go to the elevator and go to level K, downstairs. And then walk on the left, and all these rooms are next to each other. And the coffee will be served in the afternoon, yes, just outside the rooms. Lunch break in that day will be in the same building, of course, here. And then lunch is served at Juvenes restaurant level floor 2, second floor. So when you go into the main building, you'll see big stairs just opposite you. Up the stairs on the right, you'll find the restaurant. And again, you have lunch tickets, and you just give it to cashier, and that's it. And in the afternoon on Wednesday, you will have Professor Eero Ropo's presentation, and it will be held in this room. So the easiest way to get here is to go out the main doors, walk here and here. Of course, there is a way to get here from inside the main building, but that's too complicated. I think it's very complicated to explain. The easiest way is to get outside for a while. And then on Thursday and Friday, it's more easier. You will be on the same room all the day. And the room is a room named Paavokoli, and it's here, A building, Pinni A. You'll go through here, and the room is just here. Very easy to find. You have this map in your folders. Don't hesitate to ask if you don't know where to go. I hope I've explained everything so that makes some sense. And the lunch on Thursday and Friday will be in this building where you are now, which was this one. So again, when you go for lunch on Thursday and Friday, go outside, walk here till here. On the second floor, you'll find the restaurant Minerva, where you will be having lunch today as well. And then a couple of other things. If you need to get to internet, some of you have already found our Wi-Fi. You have visitors user account passwords, usernames and passwords in folders. It's a narrow slip, and just when you get in there, the usernames will be valid until Friday afternoon. So you don't need another username for tomorrow, so it will be the same whole 5 days here at the university campus. Sorry, it doesn't work tomorrow when you go to school visits, it's only on this campus. And when you get in there, please choose Utapak. It works in every room as well, but Utapak is the easiest, I think. And then on the other side of your name badges, you'll find bus tickets. It's free for you to travel with local buses, which are marked the way you'll see from there. They are marked like TKL. There's internet address on the program. At the end of the program, there's internet address where you can find English information about timetables and routes. By showing that to the bus driver, you will get in free and travel free, the local buses. Most of the buses are going west or east. So if you go to a bus which is heading to west, it will be going to west, because we have these two lakes here, so there's very few north and south lines. Do you have any questions at the time? Don't hesitate to ask. Me and my colleague Kirsi Poussa, which you met at the information desk, we will be around during lunch breaks and coffee breaks, I think. Now I hope you all very nice conference. Welcome.
Our Director of Council for Creative Education, Ms. Heramb Kulkarni, leads a panel of educators for creative pedagogies in school across multiple countries, a researcher in the field of education and educational psychology. She is pursuing her PhD at University of Tampere and doing a research about the creative education under title Creative Thinking and School Environment. A comparative study of Finland and India and Finland. Her specialty is creativity identity interaction, that is CII model. And she has a sound knowledge about Indian and Finnish education system. In the past, as a psychologist with 10 years of experiences, she has successfully handled more than 500 clinical cases. Now I would like to introduce Ms. Rita Yusenaho. Ms. Rita Yusenaho is a PhD, has an experience of 27 years as a teacher and a principal in comprehensive education. She was a research and evaluation manager in city of Tampere. Now she is a project director in a top school project. Project title is The School in the Future, responsible to make the school in city of Tampere geared for the 21st century, thereby offering the best possible learning experiences to all children and youth of the 21st century. Dr. Yusenaho has wrote several publications and is a regular speaker in the educational seminars and teacher training programs in Finland. Backbone of our team, Mr. Heramb Kulkarni. Backbone of our team, Mr. Heramb Kulkarni, is a head of the strategy and ICT development of CC Finland and is an expert in ICT innovations, in education and researcher in the telecom evolution. With leading multinational companies, he has held key positions Nokia, Lucent Technologies, Bell Labs Innovations, Skyworkers, Philips, Accenture, and Sasken. A certified Six Sigma Black with project management skills and certified Scrum Master. He an entrepreneur at heart. Mr. Kulkarni has a vast business network across Europe, India, and Far Eastern countries. I would like to call Mr. Heramb Kulkarni for his setting the stage presentation. Thank you.
Good morning. First of all, welcome again to Finland. I guess the country of lakes, country of snow, Santa Claus, and country of education. So it's a mix of all, and it's a bunch of bouquet in front of you to experience from various parts. My role now here is to set up the stage for the 5 days. We have a long 5 days actually. So it's a good idea to understand how we have designed the entire pattern for you. What's the logic behind arranging each of the events and presentations, and how you can get the most benefit of this entire, all the presentations out of this. So, thank you very much. Currently there is a change going on across the world globally, that social reforms are happening, the reforms in the political sector, reforms in the field of research, and also in the field of education. While going through this entire sector, we can see that there are some typical words which are presented here actually: a collaboration, creativity, education, school. All these big words are there, and we are getting bamboozled by these words. What is really the core of this is that the central actor of this entire school system, including starting from pre-primary till the higher education, is one word, which is student. So, and the core of we all as educators here actually, we would like to concentrate on this actor. But let's try to find out what is the real meaning behind this word student. When I went through the back of the thesaurus, I tried to find that it's a Latin origin with a studere, which is applying oneself to, and studium, which means the painstaking application. So we are, by theory or by word itself, we are saying that we are creating someone who is applying to himself for one skill sets or set of skill sets, and that through painstaking application. So by definition itself, we are here making sure that the students has to go through some painstaking part, and as an educator, we have to think that is it so that what we think, is it the education made for this particular definition? While studying this actually, I found other definition which comes from Sanskrit background, which is Vidyarthi. Vidyarthi is a Sanskrit word which combination of two words. Vidya means knowledge, and Arthi is Arjan, means seeking. So Vidyarthi is an actor or students who is seeking knowledge, the person who is seeking knowledge. Now for seeking that knowledge, we need to set up, most important part is create an interest or need, and along with that create curiosity for this. Now this combination of creating curiosity and interest comes with a package for us. And what we observed as a Council for Creative Education here, the entire team behind, that in the Finnish education, even though this word comes from Sanskrit, this has an origin in Sanskrit somewhere else, but the real application is happening in Finland. What means that creating an environment here for the students for seeking the knowledge and just providing that atmosphere, and how that is there, we are going to study it in next 5 days. For this, Council for Creative Education creates one factor of the entire part is creativity. Maybe these two C's are well known, which is little c and big C theory, where the small creativities can lead to the interest within education. And that is a basic backbone of Council for Creative Education. Based on that, we have developed the learner-centered methodology, which is definitely, it's not something new, but it's the thing which we are taking from the regular courses and regular inputs, which are educational forms which are here. So in this case, based on that, we have developed our goal to provide an open, student-friendly, creative, quality school environment to the students, which will lead them to the holistic personality development. So this is the entire concept. That's why we want to transition ourselves from student to Vidyarthi phase, seeking knowledge phase, and that's the aim in future for us should be. So, but to have this in place, we should have the stakeholders understanding of how they are currently being placed in practice. The reason for mentioning all these things is that before we go to the actual agenda for the symposium, we have these basic ideas in mind that what exactly school system and the educational development paradigms are taking place. So at broad level, when we traveled across many countries and we tried to experience how the current education system is being powered, the unit of that is a school or college or university. This is a broad level of stakeholder analysis which is there. I guess we are quite comfortable with this. So there is a school administration is there. So we have a broad level of school administration. Maybe if it's a government controlled schools, then it can be a city education officer or the Minister of Education, that can be there in part, and along with the principals of the schools. Then there is a teacher. In the center we have a student, and there is a support staff there, parents and society at large. One of the observation out of this, these are the individual blocks. We find a good amount of interaction between teachers and students. We find at some places we found that there is some interaction between teachers and parents. We are finding some interactions between support staff and teacher. But we rarely find the interaction with the society at large and the school administration interacting with the students or even with some kind of parents. This is a missing links what we say. Because of this, the basic openness and friendliness within the education environment is missing. And to have this, we thought that can we create communication links between these parts which are more obvious. We are not saying that these are the case everywhere, but what we observed as a most of the parts, and based on that we have developed some basic model which can be something like this. Here the student is at the center. There can be interaction within the students by way of various tools and applications, and Council for Creative Education is working on this particular sector of creating the learning management systems which are intuitive enough, which are with the current time. They are not old interfaces but very state-of-art technologies in place, and where the students would like to use Facebook, Twitter and Pinterest, but the similar look and feel and experience should be there in the education as well, because that's the need for today. Also, the teacher to teacher interaction is quite vital. The communication between the teachers is not very evident. I guess through various Finnish education systems and through various schools when we traveled, we saw that the communication between the teachers over the coffee table, over the understanding the communication for discussing of the methods, all these are pretty vital in all these cases. Also, this is at large, and most important part is a support staff here actually. In many places, we found that the support staff is just to do some clerical works. But in Finnish schools, you will observe that support staff is nothing but a co-educator. It's quite a good help. He or she is a part of the entire learning system. And how to make use of this, how to change the method from the teaching method, one-way communication method, to the learning-centered methodology or both-way communication by taking use of this support staff and the skills which are based on that. And then parents at large. Now, the central of this is definitely a teacher. He or she should be empowered enough for making this part. But also, this entire environment, school environment, that's what is critically important. That's what is our basic postulate on which we are working on. So we are taking use of, there are many techniques which are already used everywhere in the world. Few of the techniques are taken from US or Britain or everywhere, but they have been implemented at various places, and we as a CC would like to take this beyond the scope of Europe to other countries with the help of our stakeholders there and partners. So the importance of all these big words which are here and some of the things which we are trying to develop as a part of narratives, example, that use of narratives into the regular teaching methods. So this is entire part is to, one and only part is connecting missing links, which was in the earlier present slide. So in short, the Council for Creative Education, we are starving to be one of the icon or one of the organization in the field of creativity in routine education with the help of small c. And we are working from primary education till the higher education, and the main objective behind this is to go through various aspects of how we collaborate with the partner institutes and universities and colleges, as well as consulting to the government departments of education and so on. One of the important part also we are taking help is that ICT, which is Information Communication Technologies. Here we believe really that here I and C is far greater than T. Means we shouldn't bother ourselves with too much of technology if information and communication is not taking place. So for which we are developing some of the tools which are using our devices as well as the web-based application which have been developed under this part. So in past actually we did this, in last 10 months itself we have our more than 80 schools we covered in India, where we did this kind of workshops, trainings, and also we did seminars. And also our partners in India also, we tried to do some consulting projects with the Ministry of Education of Government of Goa in past. But the basic for behind all this part was this actually. We started our journey with this basic part that we traveled across one state of India and we tried to find out how the education system really works. We tried to visit the schools, we tried to have a dialogue with university professors in India, and our entire team was there, and we conducted more than 10 workshops we had school visits and interacted, and we created several MOUs. While conducting these workshops, we got few learning points, and we take them into the consideration, and based on all these learning points in last 1 year, we finally planned that we have to have some plan for this symposium which is inclusive, which takes care of every aspect of education, which can be at the superficial at many places, but can go deep into one teaching methods, or it can go into the interaction, collaboration. These are the important parts behind this part. So you will be able to find that there are multiple interactions which we had. So these learning points we took into consideration and we set our agenda. And the agenda is something like this. On day one today actually, after this, my presentation, there is a series of presentations on the education system of Finland. And this is an opportunity for us to discuss as an educators across the various countries that how it is different and how our own educations can be are there, or we can contribute from that point of time. So that's on day one. On day two, once we have the basic theoretical aspect clear from the experience from the teachers and schools, then we will go and visit tomorrow to the actual schools to see how it is really in practice. The basic idea behind this day two, is to understand the school environment, interaction with the teachers, and to understand see how it is really working on this part. After that, we'll go to day three, that we have understood the theory behind this, we have gone through the schools, and then we will take some techniques or some ideas on which we are going to do hands-on workshop. That's on day three. And then we got a good amount of abstracts and presentations from all across the globe, and out of which we have finally 11 presentations from more than 7 countries, and they will be presenting in these two processes, in which day 4 the creativity in education and day 5 is the ICT world and education, how that can be part. So in short, the basic idea behind the content is on day 1 to go through the basic understanding, also to go through the experience of how one Finnish teacher teaches and his experiences, how he will look, how his experiences are. Also, we are trying to consider also we have Dr. Sally Kesalati. Sally will explain about her experience. She is from Britain originally, but she started teaching in the Finnish preschools. So she will be able to give her inputs that from a foreign country, how it is different to teach in Finland and what's the different interactions can be there. And the basic background behind all this thing at a government level or at the strategy level, we are fortunate enough to have Dr. Ritta here, and she will give a bird's eye view on the education system at whole, and also how Finland develops its education in last 50 years. And she is heading the Tampere, from the very bright project called Tampere School, Top School. So we will be able to hear from her that what are her innovations which we in this part as well. On day 2, when we have the school visits, it's good to have some things that we can keep in mind, that we cannot see everything there practically because we are there only for 1 day, and it's a real-time environment that we can't have the demo of everything practically because the actual school is going on. And in this case, but there are a few things which are definitely obvious enough, that classroom arrangements, how the space is utilized, how every student is entitled to exhibit his own work, even though it's good or bad, it is on the wall. So these are the special things which you can see. You can see a typical day, and there are some few concepts, maybe the next presenters will explain about these parts, half classes, and how the Finnish kids are having social awareness within this entire school part, and discipline, how it is in place. So these are the important aspects, that part. Towards the end of this day, there is an optional part that Finland is also one of the important, known for its reading index. Reading index, it's top. And one of the backbone of this is public libraries. In Finland, it's by law, it's that the library should be there within your close vicinity, and everyone has free access to the library, and it's quite amazing. So those who are interested can join to visit this part, and it's quite good. Also, there are some technological innovations which we can also see within this library. Then also there was one good amount of requirement was that to understand how the evaluation and assessments within Finland works, because all these things are good, that it can be collaborative, creative, but how to assess them. So we will be able to go through that on day 3. And also we have 2 interesting workshops that by which we will be able to develop the creative techniques for science education, and as well as how the inclusive classroom is there within Finland. So we will be able to go through that. And then at the end of that day, we will have the presentation from Professor Eero about the teacher's education, because that's the backbone of the Finnish education. After having these 3 days, we will start with our 4th day with the conference, where we are fortunate to have Professor Kari Usikula, who is one of the icon of creativity in education from Finland, from Helsinki. He will join us and he will share his thoughts. And then we will have paper presentation from India, Hong Kong, Algeria and Bahrain. So thank you for all the pains and efforts that you all have taken in submitting your abstracts and presenting and creating the parts. And we are in touch for last maybe more than 3 to 4 months. And we are fortunate to have you all here and share the knowledge and information. Then we will go through the narrative teaching and mindful learning. These are the 2 key aspects that we will be able to cover on that day. And towards the end, as I said that the ICT, we believe that the information and communication is key vital part rather than the technology itself. How we can softly and easily integrate the technology within education, and what are the different aspects that we can cover. There are some innovations or some works which are quite obvious and which are not obvious maybe from the international perspective, which we'll be able to see. There are some concept diagnostic tool, how we can be able to go through the understanding of the students, whether the particular concept has understood or not, and how we can see that entire classroom, how it can grasp that concept, and how the diagnostic will be able to help. That's the part which we'll learn through this part. Then we'll go through a couple of learning management systems. Then there is a pretty cool application on how nowadays the kids, maybe below age of 12, they are now fascinated by the mobile applications and mobile, but we have to restrict the time for that. How we can do that innovatively, we will be able to see through these particular parts. And then there is a future which is coming up for the education is a big data. How we can be able to utilize big data which is in zettabytes, how we will be able to involve that part. Also, we have fortunate on that day to have presentations from India, Turkey and Ireland. So this is the basic idea behind all this part. But my objective here is this, that while we are here, we want these two things to really happen, the interaction and collaboration. Because you all are from the various parts of the countries and you all have good experiences from your own countries. Why not to have a dialogue? And we want this as a network or a platform to share that dialogue, share your knowledge, share your understanding about this part. As Vice Rector Professor Heramb said, that we cannot develop, or no one can develop without highly critical analysis of the part. So we will be able to share this part. For this, we need a communication, and I guess you might have observed this, that you might have this mobile application which we developed for this symposium. The rest of the things are quite obvious. Please download this application. The rest of the things are obvious. You can find the detailed schedule, list of speakers, but most important part is the news feed, where you can be able to share your thoughts collaboratively. You have wireless LAN here. Please download it, and it's Android based or web based iPhone. So please use it and interact with other colleagues. There are two hashtags which are there actually mainly. You can use these hashtags, Creative Finland or CC Symposium 2014, and share with your colleagues, friends, and this information for rest of the part. Now, we don't want this to be independent. We want you to also collaborate and make others also benefit of the knowledge which you are having. For that, we would like to have some specific goals, that why not to share the knowledge with other colleagues, your friends, and make it a bit more informal, but at the same time try to capture that knowledge at one place. So we are having more than 13 countries here at the end of day 5. So we will have a database of 13 education systems across the world, and we will be able to share that knowledge, and you are the one who will be able to do that. So if it's possible, then please try to create your own understanding through this. After going through Finnish education, try to find what are the things that your education system has to give to the world through the social background, that you can be able to do that. The objective structure, curriculum, or the educational reforms which are planned within your own countries, the strength and bottlenecks, and the future developments. These are the 5 points. And we have here Agnes. Hi Agnes. And she, and along with Preeta, she will be able to capture your thoughts. And towards the end of 5th day, we will be able to have some small video of the videos from all of you, that what you think about the education system as a whole, or what are your thoughts. Is it okay? Does it make sense? Excellent. Okay, thank you. And no, there is the last slide. Sorry. And last important part is that we believe that for creating a good atmosphere and environment, the appreciation is a key. And that atmosphere of appreciation within the school environment is a key. And for that, CC would like to take its own part in creating that atmosphere. We are planning to roll out few of the appreciation awards at many places. And these appreciation awards at two levels, school level and also at the individual small team or individual teacher level awards. So this is a plan in process right now, and we need your inputs how we can do this better. So you have two objectives. First, share the knowledge about your education system, and second, that try to help us to build this criteria for awards. We are planning to create one steering committee for this at the end of this symposium, so that we will be able to take this forward, and how we will be able to really make it really possible to have this appreciation across the schools. We may not go through all the countries, but at least we'll start with some prototype countries, and then we will be able to roll it out in future. So today, at the end of the session at 4:15, we will have brainstorming for half an hour on this, and then we will take this dialogue forward. And the dialogue will be taking place in the same meeting room where we are there. So it's an optional, those who are interested can join in. In summary, this is what is the set for the stage, because we have some goals and plannings to be done within 5 days, and also we have some things to learn from each other. So once again, I welcome you all for this particular part. This is not possible without this team. We have good amount of experts from various universities of Finland. We are having a good team here, and we have some professionals, and all these things are here. We are having advisors from University of Tampa. Ritta is also here, who is a guide for us. So thank you very much for this, and welcome again.
I would like to call Ms. Ritta Yoseno for the presentation.
Hello, good morning to you all. I hope you can hear my voice without the microphone, because as a teacher and as a principal, I know I have a strong voice. So I just use it without the microphones. All right, so like you were told before, I'm representing the city of Tampere, and I bring you warm welcome from our mayor, Anna-Kaisa Ikonen. She is very happy to have you here, and she hopes that you have a very, very interesting and pleasant seminar, although the weather is not that nice, and it could be. I'm here to tell you about the practice, the everyday life in Finnish education. Why I call it Northern Lights. You know, Northern Lights, they usually show up north when it's very cold, and they are very rare also in Finland. So I see education, Finnish education, actually also as a very rare opportunity. I'm very pleased to be a part of a Finnish education system, because nowadays we know that it is one of the best in the world. Although in Finland we never actually tried to create the best system in the world. We just tried to create a perfect system for our children, for our youth. We never thought that we have to be on the top. You know, in the history, we Finns are used to think that everything is excellent in Sweden. And we envy a little bit then. And it was quite a shock actually when the first PISA results came out, and we noticed that, oh my God, we are even better than Swedish. Can this be possible? And you know, really some of our professors explained, no, this cannot be possible. There must be some mistakes there. But anyway, we know that that's what has happened. Which one do I press? This one. Okay. whenever you have something to ask, or just raise your hand and you can collaborate and ask if I explained something not so easy way. So, okay, few words about city of Tampere. You are going to spend the week here, few ideas that I would like to emphasize. So, did you know that Tampere is the biggest inland city in the whole Nordic countries? Inland city, yes. And the other thing is that city of Tampere is the most popular place of residence in Finland. It's very important for us. So it means that besides also when the capital of Finland, Helsinki, is included, Tampere is the most wanted place of residence. And one of the things that we think that Tampere is so interesting is that we have 20% of our inhabitants that are high education students. So the city is very alive all the time. It's very lively, and things are happening all the time. And I believe that Tampere is quite a student-friendly city as well. Which way should I point? The next slide. Can we press just here?
No, please make full channel.
Oh, there. No, it's stuck. Okay, that's it. You can change the slides if you want. So you can see several red brick buildings in the center of the city. Those are old factories, but they are not factories anymore. You know, as many other countries in Europe, we have experienced this quite fast change from industrial city, heavy machine industrial city into quite interesting, internationally interesting hub of intelligent moving machines, industrial here. So all those old factories, they have turned into office buildings or residential departments. So you see them a lot in the city. Okay. Should I use this? Okay. But my point of view here is to bring you the practice. Like I told you, I am a teacher and I also am a principal by my profession. I started the principal job 1992. And that was the time when we created in every schools in Finland school-based curriculum. Curriculum is the most important document in our schools. And the Ministry of Education and Culture at the moment, they create the core curriculum. And then municipalities are required to create city level, municipal level curriculum. And schools are also required to create school-based curriculum, which is the most important document in school. Not the textbooks, no, but curriculum. So, and this is the big picture of Finnish education system. Like Professor Harri Meri already told you the history of our big school reforms, yes, that's true. And at the moment, the idea in Finland is that pre-primary education begins at the age of 6, and it's free for all children, and it's not compulsory, but almost 100% of the children participate in pre-primary education. Almost all of them. 4 hours a day, and it's mostly arranged in kindergarten, by kindergarten teachers. Compulsory education, we also call it comprehensive education, begins at the age of 7 and it ends at the age of 16. That's the compulsory education, basic education. If we compare Finnish system, Finnish basic education, let's say for instance to China, to South Korea, where I have visited and I have seen their system, to American system, British system, the most specific idea is that our school days are short. I know this is the case also in other Baltic countries, but days are quite short. On the first, on the second grade, days are approximately 4 hours a day. What is different in the basic idea in Finland is that, okay, it's very important to learn, but playing is the work of the children. School is not everything. You can learn also outside school. You learn most of the things, most of your skills outside schools. And my job for the city at the moment is to make sure that our schools and the future schools, our learning environments, not only technology, but also the physical learning environments, are modern so that they can provide learning environments for the future skill, for the 21st century skills. So it means when we build, and City of Tampere invest quite a lot, new schools, new kindergartens,